the Golden State Warriors in the nation's capital. Curry, he struggled a bit here in the first half, missing that first three, and it would continue.
Yeah, Steve Kerr said it. He thinks that Steph is tired, and rightfully so. That guy has single-handedly been keeping the Warriors afloat, especially given the ups and downs of their season. And guess what? It doesn't get any easier.
Right.
They're ninth in the standings. It looks like they could be in the play-in. Ooh, I hope he gets some rest somewhere, but at least he's getting some help, Malika.
Help is on the way. Chris Paul is back. Klay Thompson came off the bench once again here. Chris Paul steps into the three. He said, don't worry, Steph. I got this. I can help you out a little bit. Curry, he was scoreless, though, in the first half. The last time Steph was scoreless in a first half, it was 2012. Let's go ahead to the third quarter here. Once again, hustle play here for the Golden State Warriors.
Whoa.
A
Okay,
bounce
now,
pass.
this is some Glowstars-esque.
This is what was that, Zach?
Kaminga!
That's going to stay his name for the rest of the show. Steph Curry tries another three. He says, all right, here we go. In the second half, I got it going. Builds on the Golden State Warriors lead here a little bit. And we just need Zach here for the sound effects. Once again, Klay Thompson gets it to go. Thompson had 25 points off the bench. Here's Chris Paul.
And realizing that it's about winning the game. You know, Steve done said he's going to try to figure it out. He said sometimes he might mess it up, but we got a really good group of guys on this team, and you're going to need different things every night.
You can be frustrated, you can be upset because you're a competitor, but as long as you leave everything on the court, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. We're all professionals, we all care about each other. We realize when you're frustrated that it's just business, it's not personal. With that said, we'll bring the best out of all of us.
So Steve Kerr has some serious lineup flexibility, right? Especially when you look at the backcourt. But in the locker room, that can either be a blessing or a curse, depending on how much guys buy into that role. Perk, do you have a word of the day? Because it's been a little bit on the Warriors' backcourt.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Zach, you fill in the blank with this one, right? It's a what to be sitting next to me. Give me a word.
Privilege?
Malika?
Luxury?
There you go. It's a luxury. Damn it, to be sitting
privilege
next
is
to Big
better.
Perk. And it's a luxury for the Warriors to have great depth. Luxury, a refinement of living rather than a necessity. Right? So look, here's the thing, right? When you have depth, it's a luxury for a head coach, especially when you're trying to compete for a championship. When you think about the depth, it's okay to have competition within the locker room because now guys are competing for minutes. Chris Paul, he's actually competing for minutes. He wants to be in there at the end of the game. Klay Thompson wants to be in the game at the end of the game. So when you have guys like Moses Moody that are on the bench, and help me out, Lester.
Quinones?
There we go, Quinones, right?
Oh, that was
didn't get a minute.
yeah.
He got a DMP last night, but the Warriors finally have depth and a great mixture.
Perk, can you say plethora?
Yeah.
You got it, plethora.
I'm sorry.
Okay, the Warriors
You wanted
have...
me to say it?
Yeah, I want you to say it.
No,
Plethora.
go ahead.
That's
You
an easy
already
one.
said it enough
Okay, well,
for
the
both
Warriors have a plethora of perimeter players that are trying
the
to get to peak
alliteration.
performance. All right, y'all, but that's not my point. I thought plethora would work for the Warriors, but luxury is nice. We love luxury over here.
Is it a
And you
luxury
are Mr.
since you
Luxury.
are sitting next to him?
It is always
Okay.
a luxury to sit next to Big Perk. I will say this. You mentioned their wealth of riches, right, on the perimeter with their guards.
Yeah.
One thing I have noticed is that Steve Kerr no longer can coach based off of the system. Before it was like, okay, we've got these players, the system is out there, Draymond is doing this or that. Steve Kerr, whom you've been critical of at times, has to now coach game by game. That is the, you apologize for what?
I apologize for being critical of it.
Okay, yeah, but I think the difference here is now you're going to see, because we don't know what to expect from guys not named Steph or even Dre at times.
Yeah.
And good thing Klay Thompson has come back off the bench and had some really nice performances. Coach Kerr has his hands full. He's going to have to coach game by game based off of who's hot. They're in the play-in right now. If the season ended today, there's not much room to make it into the playoffs. But
But that's why he's the highest paid coach in NBA history.
Correct. So it's a luxury to be in that position as well, right?
Yeah, Monty Williams helped with that too.
What a luxury he is.
Yes. Look, they were down a starter last night. Andrew Wiggins didn't play, and he's been playing well. And, like, when Andrew Wiggins comes back, the squeeze is going to be even tighter. Moses Moody, Dario Saric, Jackson Davis. Like, there's just not going to be minutes for everybody. And too bad. That's the reality of being a good NBA team. Here's what I know for sure. The starting lineup is working. You can't change the starting lineup, even though Klay Thompson probably still wants to start and Chris Paul is back. It's going to be about who finishes games, but those guys should still be coming off the bench. Klay has thrived off the bench, and Chris Paul was brought to Golden State in large part to play the minutes Steph does not play. So the rotation, at least starting and coming off the bench, is set. Who finishes games, that's a luxury. Who's in rhythm that night? What's the matchup? What's the score? Are we ahead or behind? That's called coaching, and Steve Kerr is very good at it.
The Golden State Warriors, they played 11 different guys last night without Andrew Wiggins in that game. 12, it just seems like some decisions are going to need to be made, and Klay Thompson shooting 45% on threes in these games coming off of the bench. That's what you want to see from Klay. It seems like they just have to play a little bit of Jenga, better than I did against Anthony Edwards, and see what fits where. So maybe you shared a room with a sibling when you were a kid. I know I did. Hi, Kendi. Possibly you had a roommate in college or in adult life. Most can agree there's some disadvantages to shared facilities, but isn't moving out and moving on often a little bit bittersweet when the time comes? I know, I might be laying it on a little bit thick here, but tonight it'll be the final time that the co-inhabitants of Crypto.com Arena, they share the same floor. The Clippers, remember, they're expected to start the 24-25 season in their new Intuit Dome in Inglewood. So the Lakers, they dominated, right, from the time the building opened in 1999-2000. That was at the start of the Lakers three-peat with the purple and gold, winning 38 of 51 matchups in that stretch. But remember, since the rise of Lob City in 2012-2013, it's been all Clippers. They've gone 37-8 against the Lakers in Crypto.com Arena in that stretch. Chiney, Kawhi Leonard has the claim to doing something against LeBron James that no other player has. What exactly is that?
Well, over the last 6 years, LeBron James has absolutely owned the arena across the street, even bringing a championship back during that time. But in the battle for LA, there's a twist. You hinted to it. But first, let me show you on the floor. Roll me my tape, baby. Let's start with LeBron James, who is second in the NBA in fast break points per game. But we're not here for that. Sorry, Paul George. Let's freeze it. Ever since he joined LA, the past 6 years, no one has scored more points in that arena. Oh, yeah, he flexed on him. And let's talk about his signature shot in this matchup. Here, this is a tough situation defensively. Kawhi Leonard, 6'7", Zubac, 7 feet. He gets the mismatch. You know what's coming. It's his signature shot. He's about to look down. He's about to hit the corner three. But it is the battle for LA, and the Clippers star, Kawhi Leonard, has not just shown up this season, he always shows up versus LeBron James. Kawhi has the best record against LeBron amongst players who have faced him at least 30 times. I repeat, Kawhi Leonard Jordan, in the ways that Perk says, has the best success versus LeBron over the last decade. And LeBron James, you know what? He knows it. Check out this moment from the finals in 2013. LeBron on the Heat at the time. All right, he's on a free throw. And why does he make that face? It's because Kawhi Leonard is coming in. Now, fast forward a decade later. This is why a lot of people in the league fear Kawhi. I mean, here's LeBron, one of the greatest ever. He's physical. He's able to snatch the rebound. I mean, this is the claw we're talking about. So, yes, I have shared rooms, and it is uncomfortable at times. I love all my sisters, and we're always trying to edge each other out, and we'll see another battle edging each other out with this final one in the arena.
See, that's how it always goes down when you share a room with a sibling. Adrian Wojnarowski is here alongside us as well. The Clippers tonight, though, they're going to be down another player. Paul George is he's going to miss his second straight game, rather. What's his prognosis?
I'm told that Paul George will be back soon. Sore left knee. I was told that it's feeling better each day. He's only missed 4 games this season. That's been such a big part of this Clippers renaissance as this group has been healthy, and the expectation is Paul George will be back soon.
Okay, so that's good news for the Los Angeles Clippers, but even though PG-13, he will be out tonight, the Clippers, they still head into the game as 3.5-point favorites. So, Perk, who can make a bigger statement with a win tonight, the Lakers or the Clippers?
It's going to be the Clippers because of their expectations. Like, this is a team that's favored to win the NBA championship. One of the favorites to win the NBA championship. The Lakers are not favored to win anything, except probably to get out of the play-in tournament. But at the end of the day, this is all about Kawhi, Leonard, Jordan. And yes, in that triangle offense, who's coached by Ty Lue, who Ty Lue played for Phil Jackson, who invented the triangle, okay? But look, when it comes down to matchups, we're going to watch the old and the new. And when I say that, he's the old school mixed with the new school. He's going to guard LeBron James, which we don't see that a lot, and he's also going to produce on the offensive end. So when it comes down to this matchup tonight, is solely based on Kawhi. All eyes on Kawhi.
And that's how you know Kawhi's feeling right, when he's like, give me the toughest assignment on the other team. I don't need to hide anywhere. I'm not sure how much we'll see LeBron guard Kawhi, but LeBron's almost 40. He can do whatever he wants to just play. But for the exact reasons you just said, I'm going with the Lakers as the team with the chance to make a statement tonight, because they're underdogs, because Paul George isn't playing, because you need every single win you can get just to maybe get up to 8th. Right. I mean, that's the goal number 1 for the Lakers, get to 8th so they're in the better half of the play-in. Come out in a pseudo-home game, apologies to the Clippers, and get an emphatic win and start your course over this next pivotal stretch of games. Make a statement.
Not to mention, the Clippers have come out a little bit flat since the All-Star break. That game against the Kings, flat was just the word that seems to come to mind for them. When you look, they're 3-4 in their last 7 games, and they struggle against teams that have that rim protection. That Anthony Davis sort of falls into that category. Historically, we've seen them struggle there. So the Lakers, they could have a real chance tonight, Perk.
They got a better chance of me eating a salad today. It's not happening, right? The Clippers are also coming off a loss. And one thing we know, what's the record? Anybody got them numbers of Ty Lue versus LeBron while LeBron is with the Lakers? I'm pretty sure it's in Ty Lue favor.
Sports Center's on it.
Oh, yeah, I know. He'll send it to me shortly. But look, at the end of the day, Anthony Davis has been playing phenomenal basketball, but the depth that the Clippers have, the Lakers can't match that.
Well, this season sort of aside, there's some major questions, right, moving forward for both franchises here. For the Clippers, Kawhi signed a 3-year contract extension. That was back in January. James Harden becomes a free agent this summer. But what about Paul George? Because he could sign a contract extension at any time, or he could become a free agent this summer. So what are you hearing about the latest on Paul George's contract?
Well, so I think the good news for Clipper fans, for the Clippers, Paul George wants to stay here. He wants to re-up. It's a negotiation, and that's what's going on. These conversations have been going back and forth all season, and I think they'll continue to. I think for the Clippers, they are trying to put a payroll together that allows them to have a roster that can compete for championships for years to come. They don't want to be a second apron team 2 years from now. They got Kawhi Leonard below the max. You know, they're certainly trying to do the same with Paul George. Now, he could go out into free agency, and there are certainly some big deals with some, significant contenders. But Paul George came to L.A. to play with Kawhi. They're eager to get James Harden with him. Russell Westbrook, he wants to stay here. I think these talks will continue. And if you're the Clippers, you want to get this done as soon as you can.
Right.
Get this off of your star player's mind, and then get everybody just focused on trying to win a title this year. Because whatever happens next year, the following year, especially with the health of this group, this may turn out to be the Clippers' best chance to do this.
Absolutely.
Woj, isn't it some type of level of trust and accountability, like for us with Kawhi, with him signing his contract extension, for us with Paul George getting it done, for us Kawhi setting the standard, right? Like, because they want to play together.
There's no question, and I think getting Kawhi done first, has an impact. Listen, I think if you're Paul George, you're looking at, not just the chance to re-sign with L.A., but to know you're going to be with L.A. because you're probably taking something of a discount versus what might be available elsewhere, especially if you're not going to get a max with the Clippers. He's made a lot of money in his career. He would make a lot of money in this deal.
Right.
I just think this is a product of this new collective bargaining agreement and what negotiations are going to look like in the future, especially when these players get into their 30s. It used to just be sort of an automatic max. You had owners like Steve Ballmer who would just pay whatever luxury tax they had to. It's not about that anymore. It's about being able to put a group around a team and not look like what Phoenix does, which is 3 stars and a real inability to build out the rest of the roster.
Look, the Clippers need Paul George and they need James Harden because they would have a hard time pivoting to any kind of different vision. And look, this team, when they've been healthy, has been a consistent championship contender. And Woj, you're right. This may be their best chance ever if they stay healthy at actually pulling this off. And I think it's kind of cool that all these LA guys, I think they take some pride in being, hey, let's
Absolutely.
be the group that takes this woe-begone franchise to a place it's never been before. Let's give it a run.
That's perfect to end on, because if you think about this Clippers team, I mean, okay, they need to win this season. The Lakers, we're talking about the Battle of LA. Lakers need to win tonight based off of the schedule and where they stand in the standings. But overall with the Clippers, what don't they have? They have everything that they need to be able to win. I wouldn't say all the way flawless, but they're close there. They have 6 guys in double figures. You've got Kawhi Leonard healthy, playing around 50 or so, 51 games. You've got one of those great championship coaches. Like, this is their window to win and capitalize and build momentum on the future.
And it goes down tonight on ESPN. You can catch the Lakers and Clippers for the last game. The last game sharing Crypto.com Arena as their home arena. That's tonight's NBA Wednesday doubleheader.